Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final evening of the Placement Cup for the REacce 2020. I am Lolsori. I'm joined by Serenity, and our observer is Noodlery. Kelly?
Hey, welcome.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Super excited for tonight's game. It's going to be such an interesting one. We've got two games kicking off tonight. The first game will be Unicorn Army against OGFE. Let's chat about the lineups tonight, Lolsori.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. So on the side of OG, you have Kanakekene, Megs, Gracie, Bon, and Lex. Absolute powerhouses. And then you have on the side of Unicorn Army, Pink Unicorn, Mims, Mini Unicorn, Vixen Snow, Duchess, all of which also have been showing some great promise throughout this league this year.
Definitely, lots of potential on both sides of the team. I think the stronger team throughout the placement cups have been the OG FE team, so it's going to be quite interesting to see if Unicorn Army can keep up with them tonight and maybe face them off and get a higher placement. And yeah, we'll see how it goes, but definitely a lot of powerhouses on the side of OG FE. We've seen some great potential in some of the players over there, but nonetheless Unicorn Army just cutthroating close to them.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm looking now at the log. Right now OG is sitting 8 games won out of the 9 that they've played. So they're sitting on good standings to get through to the Diamond Cup, whereas Unicorn Army are currently tied for 7th. So there's no real possibility of them getting into the Diamond Cup, but getting wins here, learning from their mistakes is definitely going to be a big point if they are going to try and take the Platinum Cup in the coming months.
No, definitely. I think the whole and the ultimate about these placement cups is it teaches and shows you a lot of things that you don't necessarily notice when you're doing practices, or you have those games where you just play against other teams and so forth, and you don't notice those mistakes, because I think the mentality in a tournament like this and the mentality in basic games is just not the same. It's not on the same level. There's a different kind of pressure and so forth. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how the two teams play off against one another tonight, and I'm quite excited for this game.
No, I am definitely. I think Unicorn Army, they're a bit more, how can I say, they're not as structured as OG is, and sometimes that can be a great matchup when you have this extreme structure coming from OG and the bit more loosey-goosey style coming from Unicorn Army, where they're going to be rushing a bit more, trying to flank, doing a lot more mid-round calling than default setups. It actually gets super interesting to watch two teams on complete opposite side of the spectrum tactically to play against each other.
Yeah, and that's it. In my opinion, I've seen some people in the higher ranked players, they tend to play very predictable outcomes, holding angles in certain spots and having certain strats and defaults and so forth. And with the lower ranked players, they tend to do unpredictable things, sit around corners that you least expect them to be sitting in and so forth. So I think trying to establish where these players fall under gets a little bit tough. But yeah, so Vixen Snow has let me know that they did win the knife fight and they're picking sides first, and OGFE will ban the first map.
Okay,
it's very interesting to see what map choice is going to come out. We've had a couple of discussions, with the other casters and within the casters, just explaining. We've seen a lot of the same maps throughout the placement cup, nothing, out of the ordinary. We've seen a lot of overpass. We've seen even some vertigo, which is, super unexpected. So what map would you like to see tonight?
Listen, I haven't seen a vertigo yet. I would love to see a vertigo. Actually, a vertigo or a dust. I would love to see. The reason why I would love to see a dust is because everyone has played dust 1,000 times, and I feel like that would be a good equalizer for Unicorn Army to have a chance against the tactics that are AG.
Yeah, that's also a fairly good point that you make. I would also like to see a Dust and even maybe an Inferno. I love Inferno, but I see we are switching over to Overpass, and I have this gutsy feeling OGFE have opted for Overpass yet again. So we'll be casting another Overpass tonight, Lol, sorry.
Well, listen, for the last three rounds that I've casted, I've at least casted one match was always Overpass, so I'm rather familiar with what's going on here. I think it's going to be entertaining. I'm a bit worried for the start of Unicorn Army because Overpass, you need some tactical depth in order to take the round. So not too sure what's going to happen here, but they're probably going to select CT side first and hope that they get that pistol round and just run with the momentum.
Yeah, this is a tough map to play on if you don't have the experience on it. I do believe it's a very united team map, so it's going to be a tough one for Unicorn Army. But nonetheless, the underdogs do have a tendency of showing up when least expected. So let's see if they are willing to take on OGFE tonight. I've seen OGFE play on this map as well, so fairly strong map for them. And seeing as they did ban maps first, I'm actually assuming that this was the leftover map in their favor. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, just waiting for the warm-up to start on our side, and as soon as that kicks off, we're gonna be in full action, full bang, and this is gonna be super exciting. I'm actually kind of sad that the placement cups have come to an end already so soon.
Yeah, I fully agree. The placement cup is absolutely amazing because you get to watch everyone play everyone, and it's all based off one, so you might get a few cheeky wins that shouldn't have gone the way that they did. And we've seen that a little bit with Trash Pandas taking down 80k, which was no one really saw that coming.
Unexpected, holy.
Yeah, and
that was so unexpected. When I saw the score being posted, I was like, "What? Really? Was there a typo?" Which I shouldn't have, because Trash Pandas they were the underdogs in that against that particular team, and it was quite shocking for me to see that they had won that. But nonetheless, well freaking done to them.
100%.
A really strong team to take on.
No, I fully concur with you there. If that wasn't really David versus Goliath, that was more like, I don't know, the Mountain versus Goliath. Tonight is a bit more of a David versus Goliath scenario, but we do love to see a good underdog victory, and I'm hoping we're going to see that again tonight.
Yeah, I'll definitely secretly rooting for the pink unicorns. I get so confused. Unicorn Army.
Unicorn Army, yes.
There's a pink unicorn in the team. With all these unicorns, and it's the same with when we casted that Barry, Larry, Harry. Oh, God. It really does get to a point where you have absolutely no cooking clue what you're saying, and it's this big tongue twister, so it gets tough to keep up with all the names. I have to admit though, Lil, sorry, I struggle with Kanekene, especially if you're in one of those situations and you're hyped up and you play by play and you're running through who's killing who, and it's just like that's a tongue slipper, definitely a tongue slipper.
Yeah, fortunately I'll just say Kane most of the time, and then when I'm analyzing, I'll maybe say Kanekene if I'm feeling spicy, but it's not too often that I actually get the name right. It's taken me about 2 weeks. I think I've casted OG. This will be my third or fourth time casting OG, and I've only just gotten the ability to say Kanekene fluently.
I casted the Iris League Season 1 last year, so if I have to admit this, it's taken me over a year to pronounce her name correctly. So I think you have the one up on me. So well done to you for 2 weeks into getting into that name over there. But it's gonna be tough for me. I'm not gonna lie, especially with the unicorns. I'm gonna try just with Minnie and Pink just to try and keep the flow easy on my mouth. We're just waiting for Mims to ready up, and then we are off
to the races.
Yeah. First map, Overpass yet again. Super exciting. What do the viewers think, or who do the viewers think is going to take tonight's win in the best of one against Unicorn Army and Omnius Gaming FE?
Yes, chat, give us your energy. Tell us who you're here to support, why you're supporting them, and also tell us what you think the scoreline's going to be. Because
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that because I'm always wrong.
I'm
I don't know,
also always
maybe.
wrong.
Serenity, do you feel like
I
giving a bit
know.
of a prediction?
I'm always wrong. But I think, if I'm honest, even though I'm secretly screaming for Unicorn Army, I'm gonna say 16-10 to Omnius Gaming.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go with, I'm going to be blatantly wrong, but I think we're going to see OG taking this 16-6, but I don't think it's going to be an absolute stomp. I think it's going the most of the rounds are going to go down to the last one or two people alive, but Unicorn Army will be starting on the CT side, and that is a major advantage in what is traditionally a very CT-sided map.
We see it's already up now, so finally we get to jump into the action. Hurry up, girls. .r over there so we can play. Yes, finally the 15 seconds goes down, starts ticking down to round number 1 of the Placement Cup in the REacce League. It is Unicorn Army against Omnius Gaming FE tonight. Myself, Kelly Serenity, along with Lol Sorry, will be casting this game tonight, and we are off. Here we go, round 1.
And we are seeing OG, what looks like they're going to be taking uppers, lowers, split, and we've just seen a bit of a default Unicorn Army, giving them a bit of space. 3 people towards their B side. Lots of noise being made here by OG, so I should be able to hear these audio cues.
Going up from towards lowers, towards, I don't know, a lot of people have different calls for this area of bathroom. Some call it lane, some call it banana. There's actually been some arguments that I've seen on social media in terms of what people call it. I like to call it banana or A short. Anyway, so we see a nice little A long, A short split over here coming from the OG team, and the bomb hasn't been spotted. We have a player in the corner. She manages to take down 2 of the players, and that's bomb down.
Oh, Pink, what was that?
What's going on?
Unicorn Army already, and Megs is missing her shots. She does manage to finally take down Pink Unicorn, but all of a sudden it's a 2v2 with Mini Unicorn and Vixen Snow holding down this A bomb starts, and I do believe it's Vixen does have the bomb at her feet.
Yes, she does. She's in such a sweet spot over there in long. Mini Unicorn is the last alive. She's got to take down Megs and Bon. They've got the bomb, and they're going to push from long on towards A side, and it is just Mini Unicorn who is in the hands, and unfortunately she falls to Megs. A nice little, is it a 3k from Megs over there? Bon and Kaneka Kene helping her, and they secure their first round on overpass.
I mean, we saw Vixen get the first 2 kills over there, and it was absolutely well-timed, good positioning. So I thought, okay, well, Unicorn are already here, and OG looked like they slipped up a bit, not clearing all their angles, but they managed to bring it back, retrieve the bomb, and eventually winning the round by headshots. But that's a good start by Unicorn, all things considered.
Not bad at all. We see OGFE, they are rushing onto B side, all of them with SMGs in their hands, everyone with each to their own, and unfortunately Pink Unicorn and Mini Unicorn fall to Gracie's Mac 10. The bomb will go down onto B side, and the players will start pushing into retake.
I mean, they have no utility to help them. That nade takes out touches. That was a Quibus.
That was a Quibus. That was a great Quibus. I know Ed Meister loves his Bryce and he loves his Kobe's.
And that's going to be the second round for OG, and they haven't lost a single player, so they're probably going to keep these SMGs and rifle, and well, 1 rifle, and maybe you look to hit another B if that was my guess.
Yeah, a B would be a good call for them right now, seeing as they took such control so quickly early into the round, getting the bomb down and not losing a player. So it wouldn't be a bad call if they're going towards B, and it looks like ultimately that will be their decision, and Unicorn Army tend to push towards mid, but I don't think they'll be finding any hits.
Oh, not right now, but what they can do is play for some exit frags here, and the retake won't really be on with Bon in this position. There's one. Bon looking for the second, doesn't manage to find it, but Megs does convert it. That nade probably going to do quite a bit of damage. Takes down Pink Unicorn, and Bon does finish it up, and it's now left all on Mims to try and find a way. The fake flash, Gracie takes out Mims, and 3-0 just like that for OG.
Yeah, that was a crazy quick round. those Mac 10s doing some serious damage. Lots of headaches going all around for Unicorn Army, but we will see a wonderful first buy. This is always the most exciting round for me. Round 4, OG in the lead with 3 rounds ahead, and unfortunately Unicorn Army still to pick up their first. But 3 M4s in the hands of Pink Unicorn, Mini Unicorn, and Vixen. 2 AWPs on Mims and the other on Duchess, where Lex is the only one opted on the side of T with her AWP. Not spotting anyone in mid. It looks like there's a very passive play from Unicorn Army. They've got guns, they've got utility, and they're going to try and play it out for as long as they possibly can this round. Also a very slow play from OGFE this round.
They probably noticed, okay, they've saved 2 rounds. They definitely have a full bar on their hands, a lot of utility. Just waiting for Unicorn Army to disperse some more before they feel confident enough to actually take on a site.
Yeah, it's 3 on towards B site. Mims is opting for the AWP in heaven, which is a nice quick rotate over there for her should she require to rotate. Where the other 2 players, they're very, very passive holds. None of them are pushing, none of them are peeking. They're waiting for the players to walk into their crosshair. There's only 50 seconds left on the clock, so OGFE need to decide what they're going to do. And it looks like they're going to try yet another A split. Bomb is towards short, and 2 other players coming from long. Beautiful smokes coming out onto A side. Lots of spam through the smoke, but Bon secures the first kill onto Vixen.
That molly didn't do as much damage as I thought it would, and it's still a 5v4, but the HP on Bon and Megs isn't great, and this can actually be a very good duel. Retake, as I say, that Duchess does take down Gracie. She's busy spotting out towards the banana area, and Mini does take down Unicorn. Oh, Duchess with the nasty headshot onto Bon, and it's all left down to Kanekene. And Kanekene, sorry, 13 HP, 2v2.
She takes a lot of damage over there, but she manages to kill Mini Unicorn, and it's her against Pink Unicorn and Lex. And it doesn't look like Pink Unicorn is going to try and take this kill, but is she going to get the refrags? Yes, she is. She saves an AWP, but they lose yet another round to Omnius Gaming. 4-0.
I mean, I don't think Unicorn Army did much wrong there. They hit their shots. They just kind of decided to give that site and they will do a retake. I don't think there was much wrong. Honestly, I feel like the utility could have just been thrown a bit better. I feel like there was a miss smoke that should have gone maybe towards the bathroom areas to cut off those rotating players or for the post plants. But small things. If you miss those smokes, if you miss those mollies, OG are going to make you pay.
Yeah, it makes a big difference at the end of the day. Unfortunate for them, Bon getting the first kill. She takes down Duchess. Unfortunately, I think Duchess is, the AWP player on the side of Unicorn Army, and she did get 2 striking kills the previous round, so not a good player to lose so early into the round. Still 1 minute 15 seconds left for OGFE to win the game. It looks like the bomb is still hanging around towards closer to spawn, and it looks like they're going to set up for a B push over here, and one of the players on B side is down to 9 HP. So that's going to be quite a tough one for Unicorn Army to hold down.
Definitely, I think. Oh, that shot! That was absolutely crazy. Like, Alex, are your wrists okay? Have you warmed them up? And as I said, that she hits another amazing flick onto a pink Unicorn. Mims is busy spamming, making sure the person towards short can't help out Lex, but Lex doesn't demand. She's looking for a fight. She wants to hit some more flicks.
She wants some kills. She is playing behind pillar with Kanekene sitting on short and a Bon towards water. 2 of the players, they've got to do some damage now. Lex spots ahead. She takes down Mims, and Kanekene through the smoke taking down Vixen. Super unfortunate. Unicorn Army, I think, call a timeout now, girls. You need to do something. You've got to pull the socks up. You've got to call a strat. You just got to figure out what you're doing wrong and get around. It's so important for them to break the momentum of OGFE at this stage.
And OG is playing on this T side of what is a very sensitive side of the map. You need to be making sure that you aren't giving them too many rounds. And if you're already sitting on 5-0, you should be a little bit worried. You should be taking a bit more control of this map. And as I say that, the first head is going to be taken off towards lowers.
Duchess, yet again, you'd think you'd learn from your mistakes in the previous round. Unfortunately, she falls first into the round yet again. There's 4 AK-47s and an AWP to take on with lots of utility. And it looks like Mini Unicorn, along with Vixen Snow, is going to fall to Megs. Megs taking some damage, but she takes down Mims and finishes off Pink Unicorn. What a beautiful ace from her.
That was an ace.
That was an ace from Megs. She took down Duchess early in the round and then finished off the 4 previous players. That's quite crazy. Really well played from Megs over there.
So fluid. I didn't even realize that it was an ace. It just felt like she was busy moving around the map at will, just taking off heads. I didn't even notice. She made it look so effortless.
Somewhere in my mind on the minimap there were blue dots all over, and in my head it was, Megs was teleporting all over the map to find those heads, but nonetheless she takes down 4 of the player, or all 5 of the players. Duchess getting a cheeky peek over there in mid.
Not an easy shot to hit as well. You're obviously rotating backwards, and she just re-peeks with absolute confidence, and it does work out for her.
Definitely. There's a Mini Unicorn. She's sitting with an MP7 in her hands, which is quite strange because she has the economy to buy up a decent rifle, but chooses the SMG. If you look at her placement, though, she's opting for a closer angle so that if someone does run into her crosshair, SMG.
Megs taking out Mims there. I thought it was going to be Mims on for another ace, but I'm totally wrong. She's only got I think the 1 kill so far this round. She's just running onto the side, clearing all the angles, normal pre-fire spots, and bomb is going to go down. And if I'm OG, I'm like, our economy isn't the greatest. I'm saving these weapons while we have them.
Yeah, Unicorn Army definitely have to opt for and save over there. The only person that actually has economy to buy the next round is Mini Unicorn. As we say, that Pink Unicorn manages to take down Bon, but her friend Kaniki Kene is sitting on short and gets the refrag onto her. A nice little counter-terrorist timeout. This is what we said we needed. This is what they need. And I really do hope for their sake that it breaks the momentum of OG Effie and they can secure a couple of rounds.
I mean, I feel like it's a bit late. It's already going to be the 8th round of this matchup. I feel like it should have come when the score was already 4-0, when you already have to be making another save where they've won the first gun round. You need to be saying, okay, cool, these are OG ladies. They're not here to play. They're here to win as many rounds as possible. And they aren't taking us lightly. If anything, the only way that Unicorn was going to be in this game was if OG didn't pitch up mentally, and they've pitched up a lot. They've definitely pitched up.
Yeah, definitely. They have the mentality to take this map, and at this rate, it's going quite well and in their hands, playing for them and so forth. They're just running all over Unicorn Army at the moment. So I think Unicorn Army just need to take their utility, slow it down a bit. They throw in util very early into the round, especially for a team that isn't rushing right onto sites.
Yeah.
So we see, even if there is util down, Kaneki Kene pushes right through the smoke, but is she going to spot Duchess? No, she's not. Duchess takes down Kaneki Kene, Vixen Snow with Von. Megs is the only one who is able to refrag, taking down Duchess, but Vixen Snow manages to take her down too. It is a 4v2, and they are currently sitting at the moment in the lead and could win this. Lex and Gracie just not giving them the grace that they require.
Well, that one is big. But Lex is hitting shots. It's all of a sudden a 1v1. Pink Unicorn versus Lex. The bomb. She fakes the bomb. And she hits the shot onto Pink Unicorn. I don't know why Unicorn Army decided that they were just going to peek out from the graffiti area and give them one-on-one fights.
Battles definitely wasn't necessary. They were put into a situation where they could have won that round. Lex with the sneaky little fake plant baits out one and 2 players. She faked twice. One from short and then yet again the other one from graffiti. And she had the knowledge as to where the players were. Silly mistakes coming from Unicorn Army, but hopefully they can retake this map on the side of T, I hope, because the CT side is just not looking too strong. Lol, sorry. So I don't know what to do. Hey, 4 AK-47s and an AWP to take on, and all you have is only pistols.
I mean, they shouldn't have lost that round to begin with. They just gave those one-on-one fights. That's a coach killer. That's an RGL killer. I don't know who the RGL is, but I'm sure she was screaming at her teammates at that point. There's no reason to be taking those fights.
Definitely
I
not.
know I would be angry. I know I'd be
Yeah,
angry.
it's small. It is really small mistakes that you make that do end up costing you a couple of rounds. Peeking when you don't need to peek, and so forth. I mean, they could have played a little bit of time and played more united. They had the numbers on their side, so it was rather unfortunate for Unicorn Army. But I'm sure they will look back onto their demos and not make the same mistakes again. It is Vixen Snow against Duchess, and the smoke cues have come from causing a rotate from the CT players. And Duchess in a little sneak corner over there, not going to spot anyone. Unfortunately, Megs takes her face off. Vixen's got 4 healthy players to take on.
And this is not going to be easy. All she has the 5-7, no armor. Yeah, I don't really know what much to say. It's just basically a 5-7 versus 4 fully bought up OG players. They weren't ever going to let that slip.
No, that wasn't going to happen.
But we are going to see a proper full bar from Unicorn Army, and this, if they're going to win a round, this has to be it. But they're taking so long yet again to busy decide who bars what and what utility to bar.
Yeah, they do spend a lot of time in spawn.
And those little milliseconds, I mean, this map allows for a lot of counter aggression from the CTs. But if you're giving away the first 2 or 3 seconds every round, you can't use that.
I totally agree with you. I definitely, especially if you're playing with an AWP and you're looking at a more aggressive hold towards mid and so forth. We've seen Duchess play quite aggressively, and it worked in her favor 1 or 2 rounds, but it also didn't. You know, she died early into the rounds quite often and so forth. But she has the AWP in her hands, and she'll be taking on Lex. It looks like Mims wins the battle against Bon, and Bon falls early into the round towards mid. The bomb still not certain as to where they're going to play that bomb, but we have nice little setups from the girls on CT, very passive holds, you know, waiting for some cues as to where the players from T side will be pushing towards. Not looking for any information. Lex spotting someone down below.
Playing with the door, but does manage to get down pink uniform.
Yeah.
The smoke does go towards heaven, and there's a single player here towards me. Vivian, what? How do you say it? Vixen, sorry. Vixen's gonna have to do a lot of work, but she's just playing the passive game here. They're not gonna expect her. She does jump on top. She does get kind of Kekene down, and unfortunately getting spammed through a smoke. Meg's taking down Mims, and there's all of a sudden a 2v2 Gracie and Megs versus Mini Unicorn and Duchess.
Oh, Duchess just missing that little head of Lexus over there. Or was it Gracie? I think it was Gracie.
And
it was
she
actually Megs. Yeah, it was actually Meg's sword short. She just tried to peek her, and the timing was so off. She took a shot, and Megs was like, nope. She ducked down, and unfortunately, Duchess didn't land that shot. Megs and Gracie lost alive on the side of T. Duchess opts for a save on that AWP because I think they're going to need it into the next round, round 11. And OGFE currently sitting on 10 rounds into the lead, and Unicorn Army still scratching for just 1 round.
I mean, so what is annoying me a little bit, I don't know if annoying is the correct word or whatever, but Unicorn Army has the aim. They have the aim to take these fights on, but they just keep getting caught off guard by the utility thrown by OG. It's just this absolute structure and non-stop pressure. As I said, that Kekene does push out, and Duchess takes her down. And we have a fight between Vixen going on right now, but she just hides, she does the right thing, making sure she doesn't make it an immediate 4v4.
Playing towards uppers, but yeah, Pink Unicorn takes her down. That's a very important player that OGFE loses so early into the round. We are put down to a 3v5 Unicorn Army with 5 fairly healthy players on their side.
As you say that, someone does die, but Duchess does get another kill onto Gracie. This is a pretty easy round for Unicorn Army to close out. We have Bon on half HP and Lex with an AWP, which doesn't make opening a side very easy. And we have the flank. Look at this flank.
That's gonna be brilliant to watch. Is it gonna be needed though? Because it is. Mini and Pink Unicorn with the perfect positioning over there, and they finally managed to win their first round, and it makes me so happy.
It makes me very, very happy too. That's a Rip Dream is what we'd be calling in matchmaking right now, and that's always a good feeling. So this is one round. Now let's try focus on getting the second round. One round at a time.
I think this is good for Unicorn Army because they've noticed their little mistakes that they've made and also tried to justify them. And as I say that, unfortunately, Megs takes down Pink Unicorn, but she does take quite a bit of damage over there. She's dropped down to 37 HP. It is 5v4 players, and OGFE have the upper hand in this round. It looks like they're going to be playing towards an A. It seems two players. Oh, actually, are they going to go A or are they going to just, Kanekekene and Megs making their way up from lowers. The rest of the players will be pushing a split. Is Gracie going to push long or is she going to hang around towards bottom? 3 of the players, it seems, are on A.
They don't need to rush us here. It's still 55 seconds, but as I say that, all utility being thrown onto. Oh, that shot on from Megs is absolutely crazy. But Megs is there. She gets the first. Unfortunately, doesn't get the second. That nade does finish her off, though. And the bomb's going to be planted by Alex, and it's a 2v3 retake scenario for Vixen and Duchess. Duchess has been doing a lot of work with this orb. She's going to have to do some major work, but Bond takes off her head. And Gracie finishes the round, taking off Vixen's head as well. And it's 11-1 to OG.
Yeah, this is really rough. I've had this conversation before with one of the previous casters that I've casted with, and I've said, South African CS, they have this mentality that if I get a kill, I need to re-peek out wide and go and peek again. It's some kind of aggression little button that we have in our heads that we just can't seem to get rid of. I mean, if you watch the European players, you'll see, especially the CT players, they'll get a pick and they'll fall back.
I mean, I think we play our Counter-Strike like we like to play our rugby. Just aggression and aggression and aggression.
Definitely. Not much to say about this round. Kanekekene, the only one dropping on the side of OGFE, but all of Unicorn Army just destroyed by OGFE. Meg's doing a lot of the dirty work. She's literally sitting on double the kills of her second fragger. She's sitting on 22 with only 5 deaths, and the second player on the log 11 for 6. You see some chats over there. I fangirl over Megan. She is a very, very, very strong player, and I do believe very underrated as well. She's still young. She's got a lot of potential under her belt, so I do believe that she can go somewhere, especially in this game.
And also, let's not forget the fact that she's also very funny on Twitter. So there's that.
She's a meme lord, She loves all the funny stuff and doing the silly things or whatever, and she doesn't really have a care for what people think, and I love that. It's really hard to find people that aren't sensitive to everything these days, so it's really good. She's a great person. I know a couple of the people from Unicorn Army as well personally, also great people, so it's nice. It's really nice to see the female community growing.
Well, 100%. We've got 11 teams this year, and that's quite impressive. Thinking that's 55 minimum female players, and that's really good. As we see this push onto the A side, Kanekekene does take down Pink Unicorn. Ooh. Unfortunately, Mini Unicorn's not going to get more than one there, as she's taken down by Megs, making it 23 kills for her so far. That nade does absolutely nothing, but Duchess, okay, taking down Kanekekene through the boxes.
Yeah, Duchess is really, really good with her AWP. If she plays a little bit passive and she's not as aggressive as what she normally is, I do believe that she has really, really good potential with her AWP. As I say that, she takes down Lex, and it is just Megs who is last alive. She was spotted towards bathroom.
Duchess saving. This Unicorn Army Duchess just saved Unicorn Army Vixen Snow by killing OG Megs. I feel like that's a perfect scenario. Duchess had to do a lot of work that round to get a second round on the board for Unicorn Army. She can feel very, very proud about that round.
Definitely. She's such a great AWPer. If she plays passively and she isn't trying to be too aggressive, I do believe that her AWPing skills are phenomenal. Phenomenal. Another full buy M4 A4s coming out. Pink Unicorn Mims, Mini Unicorn, and Vixen Snow with an AK-47 in her hands. Duchess with the AWP. As we've seen, she's been shredding with it. And OGFE, all of them with the AK-47s and an AWP in the hands of Lex. Mim spots Gracie down out towards long, takes her head right off. We have some spam. She's noted from lowers. And it looks like the bomb is still hanging around waiting for some information. And I like what Mims is doing here. She got a kill and now she's falling back to site. And I believe that is beautiful CS, in my opinion. Beautiful, beautiful CS. Play for information. Once you have the information, you can fall back to site and you can play passively. You got your kill, you got your information, and that's a win. That's a win for a CT player. So I love seeing that. Gracie is the first full in OGFE, a slow passive round from them, and I do believe that they will be going towards B site.
And the rotates are coming very quickly as this execute comes through. It's going to be... Oh! Lex taking down Mini Unicorn, making a 4v4, and the CTs are just smoked out of this the site. They're going to have to wait for these smokes to dissipate and the bomb's going to go down. We say that Kanika Kennedy just decides to get brad and she goes down.
Headmaster would be proud. He would be proud. Megs and Bond lost alive. They are sitting towards construction sandbags on short, as a lot of South African players like to call it. There has been some taps on the defuse, and I think they might actually be sticking it. They do, and unfortunate for OGFE, they lose that. We do hope that Unicorn Army have some tricks up their sleeve for T-side.
Well, just a quick analysis here. If you look at effective flashbangs, we only have the highest effective flashbangs are sitting on Mims with 4 on the side of Unicorn, whereas the lowest player on OGFE is sitting on 4 and Meg's sitting on 9. They're just not using they are throwing the utility, but they're not using it appropriately.
Correctly. It's not effective.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're
buying the util, but it's not being used appropriately.
And as we see, Kanika Kennedy just tapping away at heads.
That USPS at a distance is quite a devil, but Lex, with that naughty spot over there from lower, she takes down a player. Vixen Snow managing to get the kill onto Kanika Kennedy and onto Gracie, and it is only her who is left alive, and she's got to take down 2 players. It's not happening. Unfortunate for them, but OGFE secure round 13, and we are into round 17. Not looking too good for Unicorn Army. I mean, 2 more rounds and OGFE have a match point or map point.
100%. I feel like I say 100% quite a lot, but honestly, these pieces of utility also, they're throwing mollies and smokes and everything towards Monster to try to stop the quick push when they're on CT, and they just kept missing it. But we are going to see them pushing Monster this time. And OG flanking. I don't think they expected this. That's the round.
Wow, that was quick.
That was rather quick. I don't know what happened there. I don't know who got the kills. I just saw many kills happen.
Fortunate for Unicorn Army though, but they will be buying into this round. 4 AK-47s, Duchess with the MAC-10. We've seen the MAC-10 do a lot of damage in the previous rounds from OGFE. Let's see if Duchess can even try and manipulate that MAC-10 as the OGFE ladies. But Lex should not have won that fight. She takes a little bit of damage, but it looks like the FAMAS beats the AK-47 in that situation.
Okay.
What is happening here?
It looks like the ladies from OG decide to be counter-aggressive, and that's because they're not taking that time to decide who's buying what, and they can say, okay, we know we're going to have a bit of a worse buy here, so we're just going to push as hard as we can, and we're going to try to get the early aggression.
Yeah, Lex dropping down to 1 HP, just a flashbang onto her body, and she is tickets. But it is Pink Unicorn. B side is completely open. She can actually maybe even get the bomb down and get some kind of bonus from them if she does this quickly enough. But I don't think she's aware of the fact that there's nobody on B sides.
She is just going to stick it, so she's going to get the money for her team, which is actually really important. Ooh. Maybe should have thrown that smoke down, and Bonner's going to take her out. That's going to be a 15th round and match point to OG. But we're going to see probably full AK buy here with some large utility, probably just enough utility to execute onto a site. So let's hope.
They got to buy whatever they can afford at this moment because, in my opinion, from what I've seen for Unicorn Army, you just buy AK-47s and pistols for yourselves because the utility just hasn't been what it's meant to be. They're wasting a lot of economy on the utility, but their flashes, their grenades, their Molotovs and smokes, none of that has actually been effective. So, in my opinion, it's just been a waste for them this whole game. We've seen OGFE actually win rounds because their utility has been so brilliant. They've thrown down smokes, creating a wall onto A site where they completely push Unicorn Army off sites. They throw down smokes onto B sites, and they do exactly the same. They completely wall off the T-sided players.
And as we say, it's going to be GG. OGFE does take this map, and it's 16-3, our final scoreline, as we see a 30 bomb from Megs yet again. 30 for 6. That is absolutely...
She's crazy.
It's a KD of 5. A 5 KD in an official match. That's absolutely insane. Megs really is the Stewie 2, 3, 4K, and 5K of South African CS.
Yeah, especially in the female scene. It is lovely to see the potential that comes out when least expected. Nonetheless, though, that is Unicorn Army against OGFE. OGFE winning on that map. Overpass. That was a whitewash. That was quite embarrassing, I must admit. But we'll be back at 9 o'clock for the next game. If I'm not mistaken, it is OGFE against 80KFE. OG have had a little bit of a warm-up, and they did extraordinarily well. So maybe they have all that confidence that they need to take on the top dogs in this next map.
No, 100%. Enjoy your cocktails, enjoy your coffee. We'll see you a bit later. We're going to take a bit of a break, and we'll see you in between the next 5 and 10 minutes. Cheers.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Cool beans. I feel like my mouth is like, I don't know, like whenever I talk, it just wants to like, all my spit wants to come out of my mouth. And I'm like, trying, and I'm like, because you talk so much, and then you're like, fuck, it's terrible. But anyway.
That was a fucking stomp.
Oh, shame.
That was crazy. That was crazy. You can't hear me pull my vape, eh? No. I know you heard it now, but I'm saying during stream.
No.
Okay, cool. Hey, what you doing? Fuck, she's crazy, bro.
Oh, that makes us good. She was playing, so myself, Kristen, to SSB, Megs, Kanekekene, and who was the other player? I think it was Casey. Was it Casey?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second matchup that we're going to be bringing you tonight between ATK FE and OG FE. I am your caster, lol. Sorry, my co-caster is Kelly Serenity, and we are being observed by Noodle Reed. Welcome, Kelly. How are you feeling? How was your break and your vape break?
My vape break was great, and my juice was also great. Thanks. Besides my mouth being dried out from that previous game, you know, all the casting and all the shouting and screaming, it was great. You know, this is what we live for, if I have to put it out there. But yes, ATK FE against Omnius Gaming FE. This is going to be such a banger. I'm super keen for this. We saw OG FE completely walk all over Unicorn Army in the previous game, so they have the confidence coming into this game, and it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens.
No, 1,000,000%. No, I'm not going to say 100%. You're going to start saying 1,000,000%. This is going to be crazy. We've got on the side of ATK 2 SSB, Queen, Casey, Starlight, Shaz. Do we even have to explain how good these ladies are? They just have such good understanding of the game, such good aim, everything about them. And we have OG FE. If you didn't watch our previous matchup, they did take the map against Unicorn Army 16-3. Megs did hit yet again another 30 bomb, only dying 6 times with a KD of 5. She is quickly becoming one of the best CS players in our country. And it's going to be fantastic to see now OG have the momentum from the previous game, winning at 16-3 on overpass, and it's just going to be, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for ATK.
Both these teams have the fundamentals of CS down to the T, you know, the utility, the teamwork, the strategies, the defaults, the movement, and, you know, the crosshair placement. So it's going to be quite a nice lineup over there. ATK FE, on their roster, we have 2 SSB, Queen, Casey, Starlight, and Shaz. And on the side of OG FE, it will be Lex, Bon, Megs, Gracie, and Kanekene. And they have opted for Mirage. We'll be waiting to see which team will be starting on what side. And we are just waiting for the players to load in and ready up. And as soon as that is, we are well on our way for this game. And I'm absolutely stoked to see what comes out and what the final score is going to be. Do you have predictions this round? I think you were closer to the previous predictions as to what I was.
Double overtime.
Double overtime. Oh gosh, it's going to be a long night for us then. And a long night for the team.
I think it's going to be double OT. Honestly, one of my first games I ever casted was OG FE. I can't remember against who they played against, but they played on Mirage, and this is going to be a Mirage. So they were just so fundamentally good. Bon just held down that B side so well. Even as a T, she just lurked at B the whole time, catching people out left, right, and center. She did her job so well. The way that they could, it felt like they could execute onto any side, regardless what position they were in. They always had util. They know exactly what they're doing on this map. I feel like they spent many hours just theory crafting on this map over and over again. And I think it's going to be double OT because ATK do exactly the same thing on their Mirages, also very strong. I feel like this is probably the most well-balanced map in the map pool right now.
Yeah.
So
I love Mirage. Mirage is great, and not a lot of players or a lot of teams are actually particularly strong or favoriterize this map, so it's going to be quite interesting. I'm glad that there's a little bit of a change in terms of the map choices tonight. So I'm super keen to start casting on Mirage. It's, you know, an old school favorite. It comes from way back when, and it's just always been around in the competitive map pool. So it's going to be great to see what happens tonight. The girls are starting to ready up. It looks like Omnius Gaming will start on T side and ATK FE on the side of CT sided map or T sided map. What do you believe?
I think it's an 8-7 map. Like every round just seems to end in 8-7 when you're looking at competitive play with similar ranked teams. Generally, when I'm playing matchmaking, it usually is 11-4 to the favor of the other team because I'm bad. But these ladies,
+1 on that.
these ladies are absolutely crazy, and they're going to. I'm just so excited. I'm excited to. This is the last night of the Placement Cup, so
Last game.
yeah. Sorry, this is the last game of the Placement Cup. So if they have any strats that they've wanted to try out tonight, will be the night to give it a go. And I think we're going to see some nerdy little innovations coming through.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting to see what the teams have up their sleeves tonight. It's sure. Sometimes it's difficult for me on Mirage. You know, you got to have really good mid control. I do believe if you don't have mid control, then you could lose rounds very easily. Mid control is super important on this map, but you know, we've seen default CT players on towards B sides. If you're a CT player, you know, you generally have a player playing towards catwalk and another player just playing for information in apps, you know, listening for the cues and so forth. So it's going to be interesting to see what, oh my goodness, I need more juice. Going to be interesting to see what the players, yeah, lychee juice, come on.
Okay,
lychee.
I'm sorry. Lychee juice is dope though. Lychee juice is definitely my favorite.
So good. It is so good. Today I was in Woolworths and I was like, I have to.
Are you in Woolworths? Of course you were in Woolworths.
Unfortunately, I had to. You know, it's terrible though because there was like a 700-meter line in and out of Woolworths. So yeah, that was no fun at all. Probably sat there for about 2 hours waiting to pay for, you know, month-end grocery shopping. We're cutting out pictures on cardboard boxes, hoping for the month to come to an end. But anyway, here we are, round number 1, OG FE against ATK FE. Really awesome lineups tonight. Megs, we've seen a very star player on the side of OG FE landing a nice 30 bomb in the previous round. Will she be able to maintain that crazy KD this game? 3 players towards B, 1 player on A, very passive play, and Lex towards mid, but it looks like that call was not a good call from the IGL, seeing as ATK FE will be taking on the bomb towards A sides.
It does look like OG is just going to give them the side. Ooh, GSSB finally kind of getting it out, and it looks like these ATK ladies are just ready to fight. Gracie does manage to take down Casey, and the health sitting on Gracie and Lex isn't great, but as I say, that GSSB does finish off Bond, brings Lex down, quite down.
My apologies over there. TSSB, she's quite good with her pistols. There is no two ways about it. Megs and Lex catching 2 girls offside. Shaz getting the kill onto Megs and Lex, taking down Queen. It is a 1v1. It's Lex against Shaz. She taps the bomb. Is she going to spot the player in CT? Unfortunately, she spots the player, but just doesn't have the gunfire. Shaz taking her down, and ATK FE secure the first round on Mirage on the side of T.
And we probably are going to see like a couple, 1 kilo, 4 Mac 10s, and only 2 flashbangs bought up on the side of OG. Busy saving up all that cash so they can buy up the next round. I do believe Shaz has probably got the most clutching power from anyone in female CS in South Africa. She's just so calm in those situations.
Very connected.
That's an asset. But as I say, that Casey's getting tagged down as she makes her way up short. Does manage to get Kanika Kene down. She does spot out Bond towards the broken ramp area.
The broken wall on towards B.
That's what it is. It's a wall. Meg taking down 2 SSB. Gracie also took down Queen at some point. Starlight is on the flank. It's going to be huge. She tags down X.
The bomb. ATK FE do secure B side, but the bomb is still towards spawn. Shaz is going to have to go back and try and get that securely, taking it towards B side. 2 players spotted in, is it Mark? Towards market side. Oh, Lex, she's actually sitting in ladder room, and it's not looking too good for Omnius Gaming at this moment. They've got 2 players. Gracie has a Mac 10 in her hands, and Lex has managed to pick up a Galil. It looks like Shaz will be taking the bomb towards A site, in fact, instead of B as initially planned. Starlight towards mid, Casey on catwalk, and Gracie spots ahead. Oof.
That was a big
Starlight.
Casey is busy spamming, but she doesn't manage to take REacce down completely. And as I said, Lex just takes down Casey. Now again, Shaz is left to clutch out this round. Fortunately, REacce and Lex both on low HP. She gets the first one. The flashbang does no. Well, she actually does bind REacce completely.
REacce actually turned for that flash, she saw the flash coming out of her T-ramp and she actually managed to turn around, but it just didn't do her any justice because she was dropped down to 13 HP, so unfortunate for her, she doesn't win that fight against Shaz. Shaz managing to clutch second round for ATK FE and they take the lead in this match so far. A full buy-up from both teams, except for Queen. She stays on the Mac 10, and we have a FOMAS in the hands of Kanekene and Lex. It looks like that's all their economy could opt for, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens over here. Kanekene takes a little bit of damage. She drops down to 88 HP, but it's okay because she's still got the upper hand. And yeah,
opening up the round, taking down Casey, and now all of a sudden that's an AK-47 down. You're probably hoping Queen goes down with the aggression of Mac 10, but enough utility still on the side of ATK to execute onto a site, and only the molly and grenade. Oh, sorry, a molly grenade and one smoke on the side of OG, and I don't even think it's on the right side if they do manage to go to this B.
Yeah, Bond spotted a molly coming from B apps. And it looks like Shaz will be reversing and going back towards A site. The bomb is slowly but surely making its way towards A site from T spawn. Very, very slow passive play from them. They don't want to give away any sound cues, but REacce and Megs are on A site, so it's going to be a tough one to push onto. 3 players, one player coming from Palace, and the other 2 waiting around and hanging around on T ramp. We'll see Queen will be throwing some utility in towards A sites in this round. Needs to happen. It needs to happen now. Flashbangs and smokes onto A, but it doesn't help. REacce gets the first kill onto Starlight, and it is now Queen, and wow, that's so unfortunate. Everything just keeps happening at this exact same time.
Shaz going absolutely nuclear, taking down 3 players, leaving her. She can't clutch this round with the time, but that was pretty crazy by her. She's going to put down this one, make sure she gets this little bit of money that she can. And that is the first round for OGFE, winding down the clock, getting the kills exactly when they need to. Not over-rotating. Very, very disciplined CSGO.
Yes, OGFE. Bond was actually sitting on towards B side. She was holding B apps like an absolute queen. She didn't move an inch away. And that was really good. A really good anchor play from Omnius Gaming FE. And at the end of the day, that actually won and secured them that round because Shaz unfortunately didn't have enough time to plant the bomb, even though she got the 2 kills towards A. Super unfortunate loss over there. OGFE, they secure their first round. We see a crazy buy from the side of ATK. 2 Deagles, a Tech 9 and an AK-47, unfortunately not doing enough damage. Casey falls along with 2 SSBs.
Starlight.
Oh!
She's okay, well, as I say that, Shaz is now left yet again to clutch a 1v4 scenario. Takes down the first. Well, she's going to do something crazy here, I can feel it.
Well, we hope so. She spots a player on towards B side. She is in apps. The bomb is down on site. So she's got a lot of work to do, and unfortunately doesn't spot Megs on catwalk. Megs finally secures that kill onto Shaz, and they take their second round, and we are drawn. Is it drawn? Drawn. Tied.
It's okay. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. We are tied for the first time this map. Terrorist timeout coming out from ATK FE. I think they're just trying to break the momentum a little bit. Strat talk. Quickly discuss what went wrong the previous 2 rounds. That's issued the 2 losses over there. They are going to be forced to yet another save. A deagle on Queen and Shaz. The other girls opting for P250s. Also my personal favorite. I'd much rather use a P250 that I can spam instead of a deagle that's barrel is bent upwards.
What are you talking about? I spam the deagle all the time. I get the same amount of kills as I do with an AK, which is 0. So
you see, me.
Take that with a pinch of salt. This money is from Bond is going to stop any potential rush coming from ATK, and they have all hovered towards this app site, and if they push now, they might be able to catch a few players off guard. Shaz throwing a single flashbang, it actually causes the rotation from the CTs towards towards A, but Bond busy spamming through, getting down 2 kills, but Queen taking off her head. And now, all of a sudden, the CTs have to retake a site that they had control of to begin with.
Kanekakene, she has spotted the sound cues in upper tunnels, so she is going to play that information and relay that information out to her team and even get the kill onto 2 SSB. Shaz is left last alive, but Gracie takes her down and they secure 3rd round. That was such a beautiful play from Omnius Gaming FE. Shaz and Kristen try to bait the players out from A side and get them to push around, you know, towards or initiate a rotate from the girls from B towards A sides, and it ultimately it worked for the first couple of seconds, but I think Bon actually spotted the bomb towards Apps and called it nice and early, so OGFE had a quick rotate and they managed to finish off all the players from ATKFE.
And we are going to see Starlight taking off Gracie's head, just peeking out a little bit too aggressively, and she has the aim to back it up. Kind of getting 1, getting 2. That spray control is absolutely fantastic. And now all of a sudden it's a 4v3 in favor of OG. That nade doing some damage onto Shaz. Starlight also down to 58 HP. Both of these women are one-shottable to the head with these pharmacists and M4s.
Yeah, that was not a good push from ATKFE. They tried to push Catwalk right through the smoke with no utility. Complete dry peaks coming out of the smoke over there onto Catwalk, and Kanekakene, she was just holding that angle, waiting for them to come through. And as wished upon, that's exactly what happened. Kanekakene is still sitting in ladder, and we see Bon still holding B side like a beautiful anchor that she is. The bomb not really knowing what's going to happen or where they're going to do. We see Lex is still on and close towards A site along with Megs, and it looks like they're going to opt out for an A push.
Oh, but this clock is busy winding down, and Lex doesn't Queen taking off her head, and Shaz getting the kill onto Lex, and all of a sudden it goes from a 4v2 to a 2v2 scenario, and it's going to be retake. Bond almost taking down Kanekakene, her own teammates. That's pretty funny. The bomb goes down, and now it's all about the retake. That flashback, I thought it would do a bit more. It does unfortunately blind her teammates. Shaz left in a 1v2 scenario to clutch out the round and make it 3-3.
We've seen her do this before, and she might even be able to do it again, but Bon has the information as to where she's playing. She takes Bon down to 14 HP, and unfortunately Bon loses that one-on-one gunfight against Shaz. Shaz secures round number 3 for ATKFE, and yet again we are drawed. We are drawed.
We are drawed. We are drawed right now. And we are going to see the save coming out from OG. I didn't think that they would even get close to winning that round, but they almost do. Shaz coming out with the heroic plays and winning the round. But 2 SSB only with a deagle. And that Queen gets the first. They probably know it's been a mid push here, but she is going to aggress. And just trust the aim, and that's exactly what she does. She gets 4. So she gets 3. Casey did get a kill in between there. And
yeah, Casey helping.
Okay, and that's 4-3 for ATK.
Yeah, that was not a very good eco push from OGFE, but nonetheless they can make up for it. Next with the M4A1S, Kanekakene, Gracie and Bon on the M4A4. There's not a lot of utility in their hands. Lex with an AWP, and the ATKFE girls opting for the AK-47s. Oof. Queen dropping down to 1 HP, taking a lot of damage over there. That's not healthy at all. But we are still left with a 5v5, and it's nice and early into the round, sitting on 1 minute and 25 seconds still to go.
And we are going to see, and this is what I'm talking about, the nerdy little innovations that they have. Managed to get Megs off guard over there. I don't think she was expecting that at all. And Gracie busy peeking out, taking our Starlight. All of a sudden, it is basically a
lots of damage.
Damage across the board.
Yeah, Lex is sitting on 8 HP, Gracie on 46, so it's not looking too good for them. Shaz as well dropping down to 4 HP. Her and Queen don't even make up for one person. So this is a 4v4 at the moment, but we have 2 players on each of the sides that aren't looking too healthy. This is such an exciting round to see what the players are going to do. Do you feel like sometimes you play a little more passively when you have lower HP? Oh, Lexi.
Generally, when I have low HP, I just tell my teammates bait me I'm just going to run onto side and play. That's the best that I can currently do.
Yes, there's going to be a nice little sneaky coming around from Casey. Unfortunately, Lex spots her out. Shaz taking down Gracie, but Lex refragging onto her. She does spot 2SSB, tries to take a shot, but unfortunately misses. 2SSB got to take her down. She does, but she's got a player from Connector trying to shoot at her. She drops onto 4 HP, and both players are there, and they take down 2SSB with the help of Kanegekene and Bon. 4-4. We are drawn again.
We drawed yet again, and we are going to see. Well, I'm wondering here, is ATK going to opt for the force bar? Nope, they're just buying deagles and a singular flashbang. Okay, a little bit of armor too. So you're probably going to see some type of slow, like bait out as much utility as possible and let that flashbang just come over. But I say that they're setting up for this matchmaking a dry peak. Bond missed per volley, but fortunately no one's there to aggress.
Unfortunately. So TSSB and Shaz, the only ones with flashbangs in their hands, and Casey and Shaz holding the smokes as well. It's going to be interesting to see what the ATK FE girls do decide to do with the little that they have, and maybe they have a better economy round than the OG FE girls did in the previous round. They've got a lot of players to take on over here. The Q does come out. Gracie manages to get the kill onto Starlight, but 2SSB takes off her face.
We say that 2SSB, if she carries on hitting shots like that, she might just single-handedly win the round for her team. She misses a shot onto Lex, and Megs does take off her head. Megs she doesn't miss, but Shaz takes down Kanegekene. And Megs, yet again, busy clearing it all up, getting those kills. And it's 5-4 to OGFE, and this is a close game. My double overtime keeps looking closer and closer.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I am hearing you. So a nice full buy from the ATK FE girls, and Queen with an AWP in her hands. 2 FAMASs on the sides of OGFE, but it's not like it's going to do any justice. Lex falls early into the round, unfortunately losing her life to the mid peak over there. And ATK FE have mid to work with, but it looks like they're going to go back for the bomb and re-evaluate where they push.
Well, it is a 4v4, and they have enough utility to take on a side, but they can only. There's no way that they're going to be able to fake and then go onto a new site with the utility that they have. And if they do make too much noise, OG can just put down the utility. They need to find a way to bait this utility out in order to open up a site. Yeah,
Shaz, she's still sitting in apartments. You know, she's trying to bait Bon out, get the kill or whatever, because she knows Bon plays and anchors on towards B side every round. Bon spots her, takes a little bit of damage from Shaz. She's only got 4 bullets in her gun. She decides to reload, but it looks like the bomb is still hanging around, waiting for some information as to which way to go. 2 players pushing towards A side, and there's only 45 seconds left in the round, so we are really starting to worry a little bit from our side what's ATK FE are going to
do. Well, Bon looks like she's going to have Nika. She is going to go up against Shaz, who is currently 14 for 4. And
Shaz is dropped down to 37 HP. She's done very little damage to Bon. So both of these players not looking healthy, and unfortunately Shaz takes the win over there. And Meg's getting a nice kill onto 2 SSB, and it is a 3v3. Shaz taking more damage from Catwalk, but not securing the kill. We also have some players coming out towards Market, and we are waiting for one of the frags to come out soon.
We are seeing Queen does take down Kanegekene. Gracie left alone at 1v3 stretch. She's the first hit, almost managed to get the second, and Casey finishes her off. And that's going to be yet another drawed scenario for OG and ATK.
Yeah, super unfortunate for both teams over there. That was a really good take onto B side from the ATK FE girls. I think Bon just, she knows that Shaz pushes B apps every round, and Shaz knows that Bon is anchoring on the side of B. So it gets a bit tough to, when you see such consistent plays, you never know when it's going to change up. For Bon, she's sitting in a situation where she doesn't necessarily know, is Shaz going to push, or is Shaz just lurking and playing for information? And in this case, in that particular round, Shaz actually played for information, and also she got the frag, and then they decided to take the bomb towards B side, and the girls were left to rotate off A. So unfortunate circumstances, like I said, it's unpredictable. It's predictable, but it's unpredictable. You know what's going to happen, but you don't know what's going to come of it. Shaz taking some control of mid, and it looks like the bomb is going to go towards A site. There's a full buy on the side of ATK FE with only a deagle in the hands of Gracie and 3 P250s and a 5-7 on Bond on the side of ATK.
Gracie!
Oh!
And all of a sudden, it's a 1v4. Shaz is going to have to go absolutely nuclear yet again to win this round for ATK. Wow.
It's going to be tough. Megs picks up an AWP that she managed to scavenge off the carcass, and Gracie with an AK-47. But it's okay because they take down Shaz and they secure their 6th round, and we go into round 12. That was nutty plays from Gracie.
That was absolutely nutty. I don't know. I don't even know Deagle could collect 2 players with full armor and full health, but she does it, and she forces ATK to lose a round they shouldn't have lost. And now that they have to call their 3rd timeout already, and it's not even the second half of this map. If this does go to overtime, that's actually going to become an issue.
You know, sometimes you could either take a terrorist timeout as how would I put this? You're afraid of the other team. So in my opinion, if I was OGFE, I would take these terrorist timeouts as a boost of confidence. You'd obviously see the team as you're trying to break that momentum and decipher what they're doing wrong and so forth. So I think that's quite a big confidence booster for OGFE, and I think at this moment they don't really need it because the rounds are so close, the economies are so close. It's such a tight knitted game. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
Gracie does manage to get one, and the Queen trades her out. These Glocks are busy doing work. As I say, that Shaz is busy taking down Legs, takes down Queen, Legs taking down GSB, and yet another
Meg's
kill
doing so much damage that round. Megs, she would have landed that 2nd kill onto one of the players, but her teammate was luckily there just to help her out a little bit. But effectively, she had done damage to 4 of the players from the side of ATK FE. Nonetheless, they were on pistol, so it wasn't much that they could have done. They do opt for yet another pistol round. It looks like it's going to be 3 deagles, Shaz opting for the Glock, and a P250 in the hands of Casey with a nice full buy on the side of OGFE. This is so intense. Bomb towards A side, 2 players lurking towards lowers. And Megs is doing a really good job at holding mid. So her connector control has been quite good. Let's see if she'll stop the players trying to sneak out of lowers.
Busy running down the clock here. They have they've only got a singular flash and
A smoke.
And a smoke on the side of Queen. If she goes down here, utility.
When she goes down, I should say that we lose the only utility that we have. As I mentioned, Meg's doing a fairly good job at holding mid, and Alex taking down Casey from connector while Lex folds off on A side. Gracie getting the kill onto 2 SSB and finishing off Shaz, and they secure round 8 for themselves in the lead against ATK FE, who only have 5. That is crazy. That's crazy.
Well, it's pretty much the perfect round in that scenario. They know they probably had to full save there, and they didn't lose any weapons to it. They still got the AK that they saved the previous round. OG are looking like they are turned on and ready to win this game.
They definitely are. They're doing such a good job on their CT side, and I think on the CT side you want to try and get as many rounds as you possibly can. I mean, so as you were if you were on the T side as well, but nonetheless, full buy from the girls. And Gracie, unfortunately, she's the first one to fall. She had quite an aggressive push over there and start, but she's holding the angle. Queen getting the kill onto Kanaka Kenen, not looking too healthy for OGFE. They lose 2 players and manage to refrag onto 1. Make that 2, and we are now yet again set into the match where the players are equivalent in terms of death.
I mean, now it's all of a sudden a 2v4. Okay, make that a 1v3. Lex with the AWP. She's gonna have to clutch out big here. She's getting sprayed at, and TSSB doesn't make a mistake after resetting her spray, and it's going to be 8-6 to OG.
Yeah, last round of the first half. OGFE are in the lead with 2 rounds against ATK FE, who are currently sitting with 6 rounds. Full buy from both teams. Obviously, in the last round, you want to pump out as much of that economy as you possibly can. Lots of Utility going out on the side of ATK FE. We have 3 players working their way towards A site, but it looks like that's just going to be a little bit of a bait. Try get some utility from the girls of the OG FE thrown out, and the bomb still towards and closer to spawn.
I mean, we say they're trying to bait up utility, but OG haven't fallen for it. They still have a lot of utility on their side, whereas there's 2 smokes and 2 smokes and a molly now for ATK. They can obviously execute onto the out of these sites with that, but it's not going to be ideal.
Not at all. You see, Meg's still with the Molotov Kanagakena. She's still got a molly in her hands. A lot of the girls with smokes, flashbangs, and grenades, so damage can still be done. It looks like 2 players still hanging around towards A site. The bomb as well, not too certain as to what the bomb is going to do. Is it going to go towards Palace? Is it going to play towards Ramp? It looks like Palace. 2 players in mid. They're going to try work their way through Connector. I think that's the goal that they want to go for, but we have a player on catwalk, and 2 SSB is just waiting for her little head to peek around the corner. But no mistakes have been made for the side of OGFE. We do see utility coming out on towards A site, and this is going to be great because we're going to see those one-on-ones come in right now. Meg's taking damage along with Gracie, but it looks like ATK... ATK have control of side. They've got this. Lex getting the kill onto one player. Another player, Queen, falls as well. It's a 4v3 for Omnius Gaming against ATK FE. Shaz.
What are you doing here? Bond has a sneak. She does manage to take down Shaz, and now it's a 2v2. That's actually quite a big kill.
That's an important kill to get, especially into this round. They're gonna have to move though. Only 15. Oh dear.
Kaneki taking down Casey, and all of a sudden Starlight has to clutch, and she's not able to do it. It's going to be a 9-6 half to OGFE. I'm upset because I was almost right by saying it would be 8-7.
almost right. But nonetheless, we do see that OGFE take this round. I don't think it was expected, if I am honest, because ATK FE have been a strong team from the beginning, and you know, I think they, everybody wants them to win because they're the top dogs, So a really good half from OGFE. I think, like I said, the confidence from the previous game that they had played has just come in and oozed out in this game. ATK FE on the side of CT, they'll be playing 3 players towards B side, 1 in mid and 1 on A side, but it looks like exactly as ATK FE did in their first pistol round. They also pushed towards A side with only one OG player on A side. It looks like they're doing exactly the same. It's like mirroring. It's crazy.
I mean, it is. We did think it was going to be a close game. They probably got very similar strat books here. Gracie busy takes off the head of Starlight. What a way to open up the round. And now these CTs are currently being forced off of starts. And that smoke, that molly, gets taken down by the smoke. But Queen takes off Gracie. Head. Just 1 tap, 1 bullet needed.
Those USBs, they are quite potent. Bond taking some damage over this. She drops onto 41 HP. Casey taking 2 players down. Unfortunately, she gets spammed. Lex and Megs take the kill onto Shaz and Casey. It is now a 2v2. 2 SSB has a defuse kit in her hands. It's just Megs and Lex. Lex taking down the player with the defuse kit, and it is now left for Queen to try and get that defuse, but the bomb is just ticked down way too far. And unfortunately, Megs just surviving there with 6 HP, and they secure round number 10. ATK FE only sitting on 6 and struggling to get past that number 6.
Well, I don't know what to say. OG currently winning 10-6, and they're here. They're ready to win this game. I don't know which sports psychologists they've been visiting. Maybe the same one Astralis did. And we are seeing the double push towards mid, but that's not going to help because these OG ladies aren't missing their shots. And just like that, it's 4v2. Starlight. I'm not sure. No, can't be because there's
3 kills from Megs?
Yes.
All I saw was Megs light up that kill feed over there. Casey spotting one of the players towards mid, tries to take a couple of shots, and they're not doing much justice. She is the last player alive. She's got a lot of work to do with only a USPS in her hands. She has some information that there is a player towards B apps. The bomb goes down on a, oh dear, Oh dear. Bon unfortunately falling to 80k FEKC over there. She picks up an MP7. Is she going to go for it? Is she going to save this little SMG?
Well, looking at the money, they're probably going to be able to buy next round anyway. If she gets 1 kill here, get 1 or 2 kills here as exits, they can actually probably afford an AWP because it's $600 per kill with that little gun. I mean, it's quite a nice MP7. It's a stat track Empire, which has all of the poor stuff, all the kitty cats and stuff on.
I have absolutely zero idea what's on there. It looks like little aliens, super cute nonetheless. But yeah, also one of my favorite SMGs. I love the MP7. A lot of people tend to opt out for the MP9 because, you know, the jumping and shooting, and everybody just loves doing that. That's just COD mentality that I don't have when it comes to CS. Anyway, full buys from both teams. 3 from us is on the side of 80k FE with M4s, and OG FE opt out for 4 AK-47s and a Galil.
And we are just going to see a slow take here. Nothing too quick happening early in the round. But as I say, that nade comes out to take Shaz down to 83 HP. Just a normal default here from the T's, and I do have a lot of mid control. Body coming out from Bond. Oh, Queen taking that kind of Kenny.
Yeah, early pick, early into the round. That's great for 80k FE, but they've still got lots of work to do. Oh, Casey spotting Bon out, unfortunately not playing that apps control as well as Shaz did on their T side. Nonetheless, Megs, Gracie, and Lex still looking nice and healthy with the 100 HP, some utility in their hands, and AK-47s. But they're going to push towards A side. Still 2 players towards B, 1 in mid, and we have 2 passive players on A sides. And it looks like they're going to ultimately try and push, get that bomb down, and see what they can do with this round 18.
Ooh, no shots really landing there, and that molly is actually going to, it's not going to land on the stairs, and all of a sudden Queen and 2 SSB do still have control of that stairs area. Lex, unfortunately, going down, Starlight busy taking down Gracie. Megs, as good as she is, isn't able to clutch the 1v5, so the 1v4, and it's the 7th round for 80k.
Yeah, 1v4, because Megs was the only one who actually managed to land a kill that round. So unfortunate for OGFE, but 80k FE finally managed to get out of their 6 mark, and they secure round 7 for themselves. OGFE still in the lead with 11 rounds. They've got pistols in their hands. Looks like they're going to stop with the passive play, or maybe still passive a little bit, but they're going to unite as a team and try push out of B apps and see if they can maybe get a bomb down. Some spam coming through there. Luckily, nobody catching those bullets pushing through the wall. Molotov does 2 Molotovs, in fact, do tend to fall down. Kind of getting the first kill onto Casey, and Gracie taking down Shaz. 2 players with rifles in their hands, not using the utility. The timing was just so off, and they managed to get the bomb down and still not lose a player this round.
I mean, they've got 2 M4s. They can actually just win this round. They shouldn't even have a chance. But I say that. Okay, it's also Lexus left and a 1. Oh, okay. I was going to cast something really cool. Be like, Lexus left in 1v2 scenario, and she managed to catch it. But obviously not. That's not how it falls down.
Not the case, but nonetheless, though, let's face this, Lil. Sorry, that was an eco round from Omnius Gaming, and one of the players on the side of 80k FE survived. The economy that was lost there was indescribable. So really well played from OG FE. They managed to get the bomb down. They managed to secure some extra economy for themselves with those kills and the bomb plant. And they do have a lovely full buy on their side. Unfortunate for Lex, she has a Galil in her hands, but we've seen the Galil do some dirty damage in some of the other games that we have casted before.
We're busy watching here as these flashbangs and utility are being thrown out. Casey has aggressed a lot, and she's going to find so much information, but she does get punished for the aggression by Bon. And now, as I say, the chase will be spamming through the smoke, taking down Gracie.
I've been enjoying 80k's mollies. They've been using their Molotovs very effectively. So we saw in the previous round 2 SSB throwing a Molotov towards Van, pushing Megs out, and she was left only to jump on the barrel. As soon as she jumped on the barrel, they instantly refragged her. So yet again we see another Molotov pushed out towards. There was some information towards mid. It was thrown and it was used because the damage actually went out. Lots of footwork, lots of refrags that have been happening at the moment. OGFE are currently looking in tip-top shape with the 3 players that they have alive, taking down the star player on the side of 80KFE. Starlight is lost alive and she has to take on Megs. The bomb is down and this could be rough, but it's not rough enough. Megs secures the kill onto Starlight's face and they secure round number 12.
Well, OGFE are looking like they're ready, and that is going to be... OG are actually taking a timeout there. I wouldn't have thought they would. The momentum hasn't really started to run away out of the direction, but maybe this is some type of next level strat that they're preparing for, and I'm sincerely hoping something cool
This is good. This is a good call. From whoever the IGL is, I think it's a really good call. We already have taken the momentum away from 80KFE. We don't need it anymore. So now what we're doing here is we're just irritating them a little bit more, just a little bit more. And that's exactly what that timeout is there for. It's just to put a little bit of edge onto the players from the side of 80KFE. And let's see if it actually works in their favor. 2 AK-47 in the hands of Megs and Gracie with accompanying MAC-10s in Kanegekene and Bond's hands. Lex opting out for the scout over there. P250s on the side of 80KFE with the Deagle and USPSs. Not a great round for 80KFE, but let's see. We've seen them do some dirty work with their previous economy rounds. Maybe they can do the same.
A couple flashbangs going over onto this A side. Meg's completely blind.
A lot of them are actually completely blind, but it doesn't look like it's helping them much because Grace, Bon, Megs taking down 4 of the players, and it's 2 SSBs lost alive, but she takes so much damage from that grenade, drops down to 29 HP, and Kanegekene finishes her off, and 13-8 in favor of Omnius Gaming FE. This is so exciting, lol. Sorry, I can't stop talking now. It's all this lychee juice.
It's all the lead. Is that is that what we call wine nowadays? But it's okay. I feel like I'm going to match your hype. I'm just busy watching right now, trying to find some tactics, some tactical advice, I suppose I could give 80K. But OG just seems to have an answer for absolutely everything. But this is nice to see. Queen is coming up in the lower position. Might be able to find Bond off guard. She isn't watching her direction. She takes off her head. What a shot! Manages to pick the 8K, and she does exactly what you were hoping she wouldn't do and keep aggressive. The smokes are coming out towards mid. They established mid control. That smoke is going to miss. 2 SSB is going to push up this palace area and probably find the bomb. No, she's not. The timing in this game is absolutely everything.
It is, it really is. Bon unfortunately losing her life to Queen. Queen manages to secure an AK-47. Meg spotting one of the players. Oh, that jiggle peek. Megs does bait into it, but she gets the kill, taking down Shaz, barely losing any HP over there. It is now a 4v4, but it looks like Casey with that nasty P250 into the face of Megs.
Ooh. 4v3 scenario here is actually very winnable for OG. As I say, that Kanegekene is being taken down. Oh, that headshot onto Queen actually opens up that B bomb site. This actually, if you think about how this round started, there was probably no chance 80K wins it, but they can actually make this retake.
They can, especially with that kill, that very, very important kill from 2 SSB. She picks up an AK-47. She's in tip-top shape with 100 HP. Casey getting the kill onto Lex. Gracie is lost alive. She is lost alive. The bomb is down. She's taking down Starlight. She's taken down Casey. It is her against 2 SSB. Who is going to win? 2 SSB takes down Gracie. Will she get that defuse?
Yeah,
quite a long defuse.
No, she's got this. She has it. I haven't even heard my 10-second timer go off yet. So I feel as if, I don't know, OG took that time out maybe to add some salt into the wounds of 80K, and 80K came back with a vengeance and hit all of their shots. Got very, very aggressive as CTs, which you don't see very often on this map, and it's paid off. I mean, if you look on the side now of the economy of OG, it's broken. It's just like that. One round, it's broken.
It's one round. It's so broken. This is the thing about CS. We just saw ATK FE. They saved for 2 rounds in a row just to get to a point where they can actually buy full utility and proper rifles, and now they're put at the point where they actually won a round and they're barely skimming it out there. Casey getting the first kill along with Shaz onto Lex with a nice little quibus, as we like to call it here in South Africa. Gracie taking some damage. She drops down to 34 HP, and it looks like Omnius Gaming FE will be taking on towards B side, but Shaz and Casey as a team not doing so, or doing well in fact, taking 2 players down, Gracie and Bon. Oh, goodness, Shaz, you naughty cake.
Naughty cake. Okay, and Casey is taking down Gracie, who's the last player. Casey and Gracie sound so similar. I keep casting them wrong. But it's going to be 13-10, and these rounds are getting closer and closer, and it looks like the scenario for double overtime might be on its way. I hope your voice is ready for what's going to be the remainder of an amazing map. Full bar here from OG, just missing an AWP. Enough utility to probably bait some utility from ATK, as well as execute onto a side later on.
We haven't been seeing ATK FE play with AWPs, especially on the side of T side. Not once that they actually pick up an AWP and actually play with it, or buy one, in fact. We do see Queen taking some damage. She's the only one with an AWP in her hands. 2 SSB with that silly smoke in connector that they keep falling for. It makes that's a very sad lose for OGFE, but nonetheless, smokes and utility coming on towards A side, and the bomb still playing towards Spawn. Not too certain as to what Omnius Gaming FE are looking to do at the moment.
We're just busy slowing it down here, making sure they don't aggress into areas that the CTs are holding, and vice versa. Queen has been getting shots, and she does hit another one, taking off Kenya's head. And all of a sudden, it's a 2v5 scenario for Gracie and Lex. Oh, Gracie taking down Queen. This could be something special. I've said this a few times, but I really do believe it this time. That flashbang coming out of Shaz bounced no one except herself. And
unfortunately, that was super.
That was a bit awkward, as Lex does pick up the bomb and makes her way towards the A side. Gracie finds 2 SSB, and just like that, it's a 2v3 scenario, and these players on the B side have to rotate onto A.
Yeah, they do. They leave B. Well, they're hanging around B side because we aren't certain as to what's happening right now with OGFE. Gracie is on A side, and it looks like Gracie was in such a good position to actually get the kill for Starlight there, but not noticing her. Starlight finishing off the last 2 players from OGFE. 13-11 in favor of Omnius Gaming. A nice little terrorist timeout, and this is not one of those let me irritate you timeouts. This is I'm scared timeout. So I think Omnius Gaming FE need to reevaluate as to what's happening at the moment and see if they can pull back 2 more rounds to secure match points and just 1 more for the game.
I mean, this is going to be a make or break scenario. This is where characters built as CS players. This is the type of pressure. If you want to be the best team in South Africa, you have to be able to. You want to be in these scenarios. You want to prove yourself and say, we can either win rounds like this or get the bomb down and make money, so that the next round that we can have a fantastic power.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Omnius Gaming FE, they are forced onto their pistols. They have to save this round so that they can secure a nice neat little buy in the next round to come. But they've got to take on a whole bunch of players without a problem, though. Kanekene taking the first kill on to Casey. Shaz taking down 3 players there with a beautiful spray down. And Gracie finishes her off. Queen getting the refrag onto Bon, and yet again Gracie lost alive with the bomb in hand, and she's got healthy players to take on, but it isn't going to be in her favor. Unfortunately, Gracie falls to Queen's AWP. 13-12, and we are going into round 6. Round 26, and we are still in favor of Omnius Gaming FE in the lead. So I think the chat just needs to spam a little bit more for the team players that they want to be winning at this moment, because they can do with all the support at this moment. Both teams, in fact.
Well, 100%. It's currently 13-12. potentially going to be probably the closest game of this placement cup so far. A lot of utility on both sides, which is absolutely perfect. So no real map control taken by other teams, but Shaz is going to aggress. She does find Kanekikene, but she gets spammed through the smoke, and it's immediately a 4v4 scenario. Gracie taking down Queen. Starlight being tagged up a lot. So TSSB makes it a 3v3, and Gracie left on 15 HP.
Got 15 HP, and as you say that, Casey and 2SSB just annihilate Bon and Lex's face. 2SSB taking the last kill onto Gracie, and for the first time, we see that we are tied at the moment. 13-13, Omnius Gaming FE and 80k FE. This is tough now. What do you do? What do you do?
Well, listen, personally, I wouldn't have bought into this round as much as they did. I feel as if this was kind of a panic buy, like, okay, they brought it back 13-13, we need to make sure we get this round. You still have one round where you could have saved.
And then you're screwed for the next couple of rounds again with your economy, even though you'll have max loss bonus. But let's just see what they decide to do. Kanekikene, she is the first to fall. 2SSB takes her down. They are opting for a nice little A push. Gracie being the first one to push out onto A side, spotting her head over there, taking down Starlight. Lots of utility coming out, but not doing enough damage onto any of the players, in fact. And it is a 4v4, even with this shoo-shoo buy, as we like to call it.
I mean, Gracie takes down the head of Queen, and that's absolutely massive. It makes it a 4v3, and they still are mollied and smoked off of the site. Running down that clock is very important, but that molly pushes out Lex from her cover.
No, it does. Like I've spoken to you and said before, the 80k girls just have a way with the Molotovs. But Gracie and Bon finish off the last three players on the side of 80k FE, and they secure round 14. You know, we've seen Omnius Gaming FE win ecos. We've seen them win ecos. They've done exceptionally well on the ecos. So that buy that we initially thought was a bad buy actually worked in their favor. The utility was spot on, and they didn't even really need the gunpowder until the end of the round, towards, you know, the bomb ticking down and so forth. So ultimately, was it a good buy for them?
Ultimately, yes, it was a good buy, but what I liked about it was that they made a lot of presence towards middle, and then they just kind of took the contact play onto that A side from Palace and Ramp. I don't think they were expecting that at all as 80k, and I think that's what I was talking about. You need to have strat for your save rounds, and I think that playbook came out at just the right time, and they pulled something that really, really worked. Because right now it's sitting at a perfectly balanced economy, and it's 14-13 in the favor of OG.
We see 80k FE, Queen and Starlight with AWPs, 3 diffuse kits on the side of CTs, and 3 M4 A4s with not a lot of utility, but whatever they could afford. And on the side of OGFE, we have a Mac 10 in the hands of Kanekikene and a Galil in Bon with 2 AK-47s that Gracie and Lex managed to save from the previous round, or has from the previous round, and Megs with an M4 that she saved from the previous round. I need to just stop getting ahead of myself.
They know this is an important round, and as I say that, Gracie does get tagged up. Starlight doesn't miss up. She doesn't often pick up the AWP, but this time it was very, very important. She manages to find her.
Starlight. Yeah, Starlight is actually, I'm sorry that I interrupted you. Starlight has actually been known in the Valkyrie seasons that she played previously to be an outstanding AWPer. So it's strange to not see her holding an AWP, but it's also nice to see her holding an AWP.
She has aggressed there when she shouldn't have been, and gets punished by Kanekikene. All of a sudden, this looks like it's going to be a connective push. Bond does pick up the M4, and it's going to be a 4 versus 2 onto this A site. Flashbangs coming out. Starlight misses her first shot.
Yeah, this is
being overwhelmed. But Casey does help her out. Kanekikene taking down Queen. 2SSB gets taken out. As all of a sudden it's a 2v2. The clock is busy running down, and Kanekikene is going to be able to get down the bomb. Casey, left in the 1v1 scenario, tags Kanekikene up. That Molly is going to push her out. Oh, down to 14 HP. 1 bullet and she's gone. And Casey is going to win the fight to make it a 14-14, and the economy for OG is going to be broken yet again. They're going to have to win yet again another full bar. I say it's broken, but they can actually full bar. Obviously, I did math lit in high school, so obviously
it's okay. You and I both. That's why when it comes to economy, I have very little to say. You won't find me often arguing a conversation that I have little knowledge about. So especially with economy and how the whole economy works, I leave that up to the IGL and to the people that actually know how to do some kind of maths, because it is definitely not me.
I mean, I pride myself to be able to do economy and analysis, but obviously that time was a bit awkward, and I get it wrong as we head into the 29th round of this map. And ATK do take their final timeout, and I believe OG only have one timeout left. So if this does go to overtime, it's going to be very, very difficult for these teams to take time to strat.
This is full buy from both teams, from us and in the hands of Starlight and Shaz with 2 M4s, A4s, and Queen opting for the AWP. I wanted to say in the previous round that the AWPs helped them to some extent in the side of ATK, but it kind of, with that retake, it kind of let them down a little bit. 2 AWPs onto a site to try and retake is not a smart idea at all. But as I say that AWP smashing Megs through the smoke, that's dropping one of the core players down on the side of OGFE early into the round. Queen taking some damage, but the bomb is down.
I mean, they even have a smoke to embrace the CT, but the spam GSSB has been crazy today. And Queen taking off Lex's head. What was that?
That was a crazy flick. Crazy flick. Kaneki Kene managed to get the kill onto Starlight. Bon helping her with 2 SSB. Shaz finishing off the 2 players left alive. And they go for the defuse, and they will actually be the first team, or the first team to secure map point this game.
I mean, it's match point, last round. There's enough money on the side of OG to buy up here. I mean, is this not...
Is this overtime?
I don't want to say it just yet. It's something of a big O, as Proxy would say. But
the big O that we also badly
want to see.
We want to see it. We want it. This has been such a tight-knit game. There hasn't been a round where, you're sitting at a point where you're like, okay, ATK, they've got this round, they've got it, and then all of a sudden OGFE, they're like, no, they've got this round, and then they'll win. And it's just been tight, close games and close rounds, and it's crazy to see what the players have been pulling out of their hats to secure those rounds. And it's been such a action-packed game, and it's been so fun to cast. I don't want it to end.
And it is going to come down to the last 1 minute and 15 seconds, as we see the T's trying to find some type of map control, but the counter-terrorists are just throwing out utility, denying any type of map control.
Yeah.
And there's only a smoke, a couple flashes, and a molly on the side of OG. And that last smoke does go out towards A. Maybe some type of A fake, as we see everyone on the T side busy making their way through it. GSSB busy spamming through, does manage to find her. And Lex getting the first kill onto the B side. So that should open it. Great busy working here. She gets through. The A side is now completely open, and the CTs are stuck, not knowing where the bomb is going.
2 SSB and Casey are the last 2 alive. They have, as I say that, 2 SSB falls to Megs. Megs taking her head right off will send some distance to you. They haven't dropped a player. It is Casey who is last alive. As I say that, yet again, Caster's Curse. Lex taking down Casey, and you have it. I think you need to start calling these games again, Lil Sorry, because you seem to be quite close in terms of the score. 15-15, we are tied. Omnius Gaming FE against ATK FE in the final game of the Placement Cup in the REacce Season 2. And it's been action-packed.
This game is literally making me wake up my dog. I'm busy slamming on desks and chairs and all of that. You can hear that, excuse me. But this is so exciting, as we do see OG on the T side busy making their way towards getting some type of palace and ramp control. Kaneki Kena busy doing her lurky lurk towards mid, and now towards B.
She's gonna actually go back towards A and support her players pushing to A site. It looks like Connector and Snipers are still hanging around towards mid. There has been a player spotted on A site, and we are going to see the first blood happen. Megs dropping down. She unfortunately loses her life to Queen and Bon. Oh my goodness. Queen. Sis, but AWP.
When Queen has her AWP wildfire in her hand, she's absolutely crazy. She's been hitting shots left, right, and center. And we are going to see probably a bomb plant, but I say that as there's no utility left on the side of OG, and Shaz is just doing the right thing, making sure no one's busy faking their way onto B, but the bomb is stuck. Palace and Lex managing to take down Casey. Gracie taking down Queen. Starlight does manage to take down Lex, and Shaz. Oh, Shaz gets dinked.
Gracie spots a player. She spots a player. She spots Shaz, taking down Shaz. Kanikakene taking the fight with Starlight, but she loses a lot of HP, dropping down to 1 HP. They're going to get the bomb down. Are they? No, they're not. 2 SSB manages to stop that plant, and we're left to a 1v1.
Oh, 2 SSB busy clutching out the round there for the ATK ladies, and that's the first round of overtime going into favor of ATK. That is absolutely insane. This game is so tight.
It is. It's absolutely ridiculous. Full buys yet again on both sides of the team. AWP in the hands of Lex and Queen. We've seen some interesting flicks coming from both of the players tonight. Yeah. We have diffuse kits on 4 of the players on ATK FE. As I say that, Lexi taking down 2 SSB, but Queen getting the refrag on there. Lots of AWP action. Queen is lost alive with an AWP. She's the only one with an AWP at this moment. And we are looking at a 4v4. I don't even know what to say anymore. This has just been so action-packed that it's kind of hard to decipher what's going to happen next.
I mean, Queen does take down Gracie there, and now there's no one left to lurk onto this A side, so it doesn't mean if they make any noise towards B. It's 100% sure that's what's going to be. The flashes are coming out, and the CTs are just going to play retake here, which is the right thing to do. As I say, that Casey does manage to find Meg through a smoke, and Kanikakene taking down Casey. Queen doesn't miss. She never misses when she has her own AWP while wildfire in her hand, and it's 17-15 to ATK, the second round of OT, and the last time out. From here on out, no more strategizing. They're just going to have to be playing off of what their in-game leader's busy calling in the beginning and in the middle of the rounds. No more time to breathe. This is where things get interesting. OGFE, if they do manage to get this round, it's going to be basically just matchmaking 101. People are just going to be calling things, and you just got to do it.
Yeah, this is where you come down to the basics of CS, and you try to, just improvise in terms of different strategies and how you're going to approach a site and so forth. We do see a little tech pause coming in. We are waiting for the waiting. Goodness gracious, this Kelly Kant is really coming at me tonight. We are waiting for the reasoning behind that, but nonetheless, we have a player that has disconnected from the server due to a technical difficulty. It looks like Mega's mic has stopped working, unfortunately, but that's okay because she'll be back up and running shortly.
I mean, if it's just a mic not working, it should be a pretty easy fix.
Definitely. Well, we hope so. If not, they're just going to have to kind of go off of hand signals if they could from her.
Put the webcam on in Discord and just be like 2, 3, yeah, 100%, or just speak in game maybe if it's a Discord issue or a TeamSpeak issue.
Yeah. 15-17, guys. Omnius Gaming FE unfortunately feeling the shortfall onto those rounds. ATK FE are finally in the lead after extremely hard rounds that they had to take OGFE on with, in terms of them being in the lead for most of this match. And ATK FE has got a lot of work to do. They've still got to secure a couple of rounds to make sure that they secure this win, but they are in the lead. That boosts their confidence. And sometimes technical difficulties have this unpopular way of just coming at the wrong time, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, this might be a bit frustrating for OG, but this could also be exactly what they need. Some time where they can just relax, get back into the game. I see Gracie's ping is also sparked now to 80. this isn't ideal. Things seem to be going wrong right in the crucial moment for OG, but we do see Megs is back on the server, and she has been a absolute pillar of strength for this OG side, which is important to see. Let's have a look at some other interesting stats for you guys. We have 22 effective flashes from Shaz and 27 effective flashes from 2SSB. That is absolutely insane. Almost a 30 bomb of effective flashes from those two ladies.
That is, and that those win rounds. Effective flashes win rounds. We see Gracie, who's been doing a lot of damage on the OG FE. She's currently sitting on 32 kills with 25 deaths. And, you know, her team is just behind her. And we see on the side of ATK FE, a lot of the players are tightly knitted in terms of kills and so forth. So it's such an evenly spread skill group. It's great to see two teams coming out of nowhere and just taking control and dominating the FE scene. And I must say, from Omnius Gaming FE, wow, what a shocker, what a surprise. They must be getting exceptional coaching. If I look at, you know, how much these players have grown. Yeah, that's super important.
Shaz, that shot onto Bond. The first Queen manages to get down the AWP, Lex, AWP, and Queen does come on top. 2SSB might be in for a multi-kill. She does manage to tag up Gracie a little bit. Molly does push her off the angle. And it is in a scenario that Molly is absolutely huge. It's going to force them away from the lower position and force them towards connector. Megs is down to 41 HP. Gracie on 55. This is not going well for OG right now.
Definitely. Queen is smoked off in mid. I don't think she has the information. I don't think she heard the sound cue from the girls that were a little bit roasty toasty down in mid. Gracie, unfortunately, getting the short end of that stick. 2SSB is there, holding the angle. She takes down two of the players. Omnius Gaming's famous Megs is last alive. She's got utility. She's got an AK-47, but she's got 5 healthy players to take on. All of them with defuse kits, most of them with utility. This is going to be such a tough round for her to clutch.
I mean, if anyone on OG is going to do it, it's going to be Megs, but it's okay. There's only 8 seconds left, so she probably saves her AK. Managed to get Starlight's head. Molly is going to go out. Why are you running it? Okay, it's the last round of half. It doesn't really matter. And that's how the round is going to end. 18-15, 3-0 currently in overtime towards ATK. OG has shown to be a little bit more of a T-sided team on this map, but it's time for them to switch over to CT and show us what they can do. Surprised we're not seeing any noob cannons, because we do go to 16k at halftime. But
yeah,
I'm just saying, if you can afford it, I'd get it, especially in such a close match.
I feel like in terms of like when you're playing in a professional environment, that you have respect for your fellow gamers, and you just don't buy the silly guns that are in this game for heck knows what reason. So I can respect that. I can respect the players not doing that. Kanigakene getting the first kill onto KC. ATK drops down to 4 players, and they've still got 5 players to take on. Queen manages to land a shot onto Megs and puts them into an equivalent position with 4 players on each team.
I mean, the utility right now is also looking very balanced, so if anything's going to happen, it's probably going to happen in the next 30 to 45 seconds. And OGFE probably feeling the pressure right now. They know that they have to hit their shots. Every single hit that pops up needs to be hit. Queen is going to re-peek from this position, but she's not going to be able to find anyone unless they get out of position. Lex doing her famous little jiggle peek with the AWP just to make sure that her fingers are still toasty in this cold weather. Bomb has been brought up. The molly coming from Lex at the pass position doesn't cause a rotation. That's probably what they were hoping for.
Very slow play from the ATK F Eagles. The bomb is in back alley, and it looks like they'll be going towards B, but Gracie gets really clean kill onto Queen, taking her down. Oh, lots of damage. Oh my goodness. Bon completely roasting the players in apps, and Kanigakene finishing off the last player. What a brilliant play from Omnius Gaming FE. Super unfortunate for ATK FE. I think they just waited a little bit too long for them to come out of apps, and Bon and the player that was on site with her, Kaneka Kene, just managed to have wonderful cross placements.
Oh, Lex taking down 2 SSB, and just like that, OG have the advantage in this map, and all of a sudden it looks like that double overtime might just be coming our way, ladies and gentlemen. A bunch of utility being thrown towards this A side, making sure that ramp position is heavily contested. Megs is posted up towards Palace, so Starlight peaks, her head will be taken clean off. Wow.
Shaz has got control, some control of mid, but there is a player sitting neatly tucked into ladder room waiting for her to make a little step, and it looks like they'll be executing on towards A side. There are 3 players on A, so we're not certain if this is going to be the best call. We see Bon is still holding. She's still holding B side. The bomb has been started. Queen, Starlight, and Shaz getting 3 players off site. Gracie and Bon are last alive, and they have a lot of dirty work to do, taking down 3 of the players.
And Bon is left in a 1v3 scenario to clutch this round. She does get the first one. Casey is low. She is going to have to nuke that nade. It doesn't do as much damage as she was hoping for. And that is going to be GG. ATK taking the map, and well played to these ladies. This was the closest game of the Placement Cup so far, and you have to love it. These 2 teams, probably the best 2 female teams in South Africa, probably Paw Patrol in there as well, and it is absolutely insane. This was fundamental CS at its very best.
Definitely. Let's not forget Trash Banners that actually managed to get a map point against ATK FE. They've been at the top of the log throughout the Placement Cup against the FE girls. So Omnius Gaming did such an exceptional job at keeping up with them. And you know what? If it was me, I'd be scared of this team. If you go back and you look at the demos and the potential on this team, there is so much that can be done with them. They are such an excellent team, and a really well played to Omnius Gaming FE. But nonetheless, ATK FE take the win on the final game in the Placement Cup of the REacce Season 2. It's been a long night, guys, so we're definitely not going to keep you up much longer. Keep an eye on REacce's esports' Twitter posts. They will be updating everyone in terms of the games that will be played in the Diamond Cup and the placements in terms of the Placement Cups that were played. Other than that, I just want to say thank you so much to Noodle for his exceptional streaming, and to Lord Sorry for casting with me tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. It has been absolutely amazing casting with you for the first time, Kelly Serenity. Noodle, you're amazing as always. Thank you to the chat for being here. Thank you for being loud and being proud of who you support. And we can't wait to see you for the actual Diamond and Platinum Cups. Have a good night.
Good night.